All right, time to get down to the Mr. Gloat podcast for April the 4th. This is not the first episodes of doing Gloat podcasts on Friday. I've done plenty of them before, guys. I'm just going to cut back on just doing Saturday shows because there's boxing events that take place on Saturday and Sunday. So I thought to myself, I'll just do Friday podcasts days before shows happen. And most importantly, tomorrow, guys, in Germany, Tina Rupert will fight with Samira Yamanaka for the undisputed Atomweight Championship. But here's something interesting that I actually found a couple hours ago. First of all, let me move my remote somewhere else here, just so my camera phone won't fall off the laptop here. And try to get down to business. So as for information here, Turki Al-Sheikh went to Twitter and he stated the following rules. Dear fans, today marks our final day in boxing. I want to thank everyone who has been part of this journey with me. And then he points out the other paragraph saying, to my dear friends scheduled to fight on the London and New York City cards, I apologize for the time and effort you put into training camp. I wish you the best of luck in your future fights, as those two events have now been officially canceled. Yours, Turki. So, Turki Al-Sheikh. Now, guys, I don't like everything about Turki Al-Sheikh other than how there's moments like how he, about the time where the WBC, what's the WBC president of the WBC? Give me a second. WBC owner Marcio Suleiman, a Mexican, the president of Mexico's WBC organization. Almost like how that information, how him and Turki Al-Sheikh had arguments last month about the belts and the Ring Magazine belt and how controversial that was. And I did have some controversial about that, but everything about how the CEO of the WBC and Turki Al-Sheikh, how they had their arguments there. There was a couple things I don't like much about Turki Al-Sheikh, but at the end of the day, you can't. It is what it is. Like you take that for what you will. It is what it is. So I do understand. And I understand Turki Al-Sheikh's reasons. Like, you have a lot of these things. And just to let you viewers know, there's a lot of fights taking place as we speak. You have so many boxers. And because I only have 3 topics to talk about, the first topic is going to be what's going to happen this weekend of April the 5th and April the 6th. And I'm just going to get through this one quickly and get to the last 2 topics as quickly as I can. So while going to BoxRec, I always go to my follow just to know what fights are going to happen. And on April the 5th, Bakadir Jalilov, the 2020 and 2024 Olympic gold medalist in the super heavyweight, is going to take on Ihor Sheveldowski, the Hulk, in the country of Kazakhstan. And it's going to be an interesting fight considering how Ihor lost against fighters like Martin Bakali and Kubrat Poev in 2023 and 2024 respectively. So Jalilov, this is going to be an interesting fight. These are some days' notice, and even though I've heard reports that Jalilov wants to have a fight with the world title of Daniel Dubois, but that might not happen considering how he was out of the professional boxing for a year and a half. Just because you're great at amateur boxing doesn't mean amateur boxing and professional boxing are the same thing. So I do question Bakadir's career in professional, even Richard Torres as well. And speaking about Richard Torres Jr., the silver medalist of the 2020 Japan Olympic Games for the silver medalist, he's already taken on Guido Vianello. And when looking up the rankings as we speak, April the 1st already has rankings of the WBA, such as Fabio Wardley being at number 1, Michael Hunter at number 2, Moses Atama at number 3, Jarrell Miller at 4, Lanier Perot at number 5, Martin Bakal 6, Philip Hergovich 7, Mahmoud Achar at 8, Murad Gassiv 9, Johnny Fisher 10, Daniel Perot at 11, Yoandi Toirek, number 12, which I have explained before, Nelson Heisa at 13. Okay, so they're putting him in the ranks. Interesting. Deontay Petroglu at 14 and Luis Ortiz at 15. Nothing much for Torres and Vianello because they're not ranked in the WBA. Like, Torres is still ranked number 14 in the IBF. While the other rankings, he's not rated in nothing. While this Gildo Vianello, a guy that only has 2 losses in the draw in his career, with his draw coming in against a guy named Kingsley Abe, a half contender, not much to talk about. Losses against guys like Jonathan Rice, a journeyman fighter, and F.A. Ajagba last year ago by 10-round split decision. Even though he won a great fight against Arslanbek Makhmudov last August in Quebec, Canada, so I guess that's why he's in the rankings. And this Italian guy is ranked number 15 in the WBO and WBC and number 13 in the IBF. So if Torres wins this fight, he'll go 1 up on Vianello, but will he go a couple more spots on the WBC and WBO page? Will he even go on the WBA? Because I think Torres deserves a lot more credit than Vianello. But if Vianello pulls out a unbelievable decision on this fight, this gladiator with only 16 professional fights and a couple of losses, which is, considering how controversial his losses are, yeah, it's going to be interesting to know what's going to happen. So good luck for Torres. The fight's going to take place in Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas. Get your tickets by Bob Arum of Top Rank Promotions. Other fights on the show, like Abdul Mason, is going to take on Carlos Ornelas in the lightweight division, as the Mexican fighter with 28-4 is going to have to see if he can pull out an undefeated win like he did last December in 2023 against someone. Let's see if he can take out this ranked number 13 fighter that's 20 years old in South Paul. Wish this guy best of luck from Cleveland, Ohio. But even other fights on the card aren't really that much important. But there is undefeated fighters, so taking on some nobody fighters. So that's what the card's going to be. Of course, we also have, like I said before, Samira Yamanaka and Tina Ruperchet. They're going to have their fights in Germany for as we speak. We also have that WBO European light heavyweight title match that's going to take place on that show against a couple guys that might not be good contenders to talk about. Victor Vikhurst, a 13-1 fighter from Ukraine. The Victor Vost, the guy that lost an 8-round TKO loss in America against Lanier Perot 2 years ago in February against this Cuban fighter from South Paul that's still 11-0, undefeated, but he hasn't fought since March last year. But he is going to fight in a couple weeks on April the 18th, so yeah, Victor is going to take on past prime fighter Rydell Booker. Yeah, that guy coming out of retirement is just retired. There's no point of Rydell Booker being in the boxing anymore. Also on April the 6th, I'm still paying attention to some other interesting shows, such as going to Japan. Why we have titles such as we have a female 7-0-2 fighter named Marina Loreto, a 31-year-old woman fighting for the WBO Asia Pacific minimum weight champion against a Thailand fighter that's 9-3 with 6 knockouts, and the Japanese girl has 0 knockouts. So that's going to play an interesting fight in the show in Sangyoi Shinko Center in Sakai, Osaka, Japan. So there's going to be some interesting fights. Please, for all you Japanese people out there, don't miss those shows. Even there's going to be another show in Japan in the Yurex Munakata, also on the same day, by Takashi Koshimoto for the Fukuoka promotion, is also going to be there in Fukuoka, Japan. where we'll just have a bunch of nobody fights and fighters coming in their rookie debut and other new fighters. So, and I am interested in seeing, there's not a lot of great ranked fighters in this other than the only ones that are ranked in 100s are such as a 1-0 female fighter named Iri Sato going in a 4 2-minute round fight, ranked number 60 in the atomweight division, taking on a woman, 23 years old, considering Iri is 36 years old, taking on a 23-year-old woman named Ayumi Tanaka with 1 win and 4 losses, but this woman is ranked number 38 in the atomweight. So good luck for Iri Sato to pick up that win and might rank her bigger, but yeah, nothing interesting on that show, but hey, it's good, interesting to see for the heck of it. Even there's also another show that's also going to take place in Thailand, which is just going to be a bunch of other nobody fights as well, just like other shows. But I am supporting one boxer there, which is also female, named Net Napa Sunthorn, a woman with 8 wins and 8 knockouts, ranked number 36 in the light flyweight, and her resume is not that good, just a bunch of losses in their careers, and she's taken on a 2-0 undefeated person that's ranked number 112 named Ruby Ramapreet Singh, with 2 wins and 2 knockouts, and she's ranked number 112 in Australia in the world. So, and her resume is similar, but yeah, all in all, there's nothing much to say about these fights of the show other than I do have them followed. I am following them on BoxRec just for support. But yet again, it is for the heck of it. Better to just watch it for the heck of it because I'm still interested on knowing what the resumes for future, because I do want to support out these small other fighters and other females from other countries just to see what they have in store. So it's going to be interesting to know. It's going to be interesting to know what they're going to do because I do want to see more of these girls. Also, one other announcement, Abel Mendoza El Zorro, this guy with 42 wins and 31 knockouts, ranked number 74 in the lightweight division, is boxing again on, for some reason, I thought he was boxing in the pros until I looked up TCL, which is another boxing promotion, and he's going to box on April 11th for a 1-round fight, which, yeah, technically, Abel Mendoza, I don't know much about this boxer other than he has 42 wins, 31 knockouts. He's nothing but a hype job opponent, but hey, if he picks up probably 4 more wins this year in 2025 and gets 46-0 or even fights something in 2026, because this guy's career is just going down the tube. I don't know what to say about this. It's ridiculous, and it's even more ridiculous when looking up any other fighters in the division. Also on April the 12th, Nelson Heisa, that's ranked in the WBA and WBO, is going to go against another 12-0 fighter named Edwin Castillo. That's a 12-0 fighter from Colombia, and he's ranked number 177, and his resume is, well, not good, but some of his later fights, not bad. So, yeah, 21 years old, taking on a 40-year-old Albanian, which doesn't deserve to be in the ranks. So, yeah, who knows? Being ranked number 26, I don't see this guy being in a title shot in the future, so who knows? And that's the same thing for Gergen Hovhannisyan, an Orthodox Armenian boxer that's ranked number 76 in the heavyweight division. And this big 6'7", over 270-pound baked potato is going to have another 8-round fight. And I wish him best of luck in April the 18th. So, yeah, it's going to be ridiculous of knowing what these fights are going to be. It's just ridiculous. But yes, guys, let's get to our second topic. The second topic is the heavyweight division. So the heavyweight division, ladies and gentlemen, is it's just ridiculous. There's so much ridiculous stuff happening here in the heavyweights. So this is what we have. Derek Chisora has been coming out back-to-back wins. He takes on a guy that's already passed off his prime as a losing fighter named Jared Washington last August of 2023. He gets cut for a right eye in the second round due to a head clash against him, and he had problems winning rounds, and he managed to squeak out that fight. Comes in July the 27th, almost a full year later against Joe Joyce. He comes out, evening up the fight. He pulls out an amazing right hand punch in the 9th round, knocking down Joyce, comes into the 10th, barely finishes off, wins by unanimous decision. Amazing. And then comes in February the 8th. He takes on Otto Valiant. And at this moment, this is almost like Joe Joyce. Joseph Parker, getting these pick opponents that people think he's going to lose. And he takes out Wilder, Zhang, and Bacall, and now he's in the top ranks. And this is what Chisora is. Like, Chisora is saying that he's going to retire until he gets to 50 fights, win or lose. And if Wallen defeats him, he's not even involved in the ranks anymore. It's just a waste of time. Well, surprisingly, he comes out, hurts out his opponent, knocks him down a couple times. He did got a problem due to having suffered eye injuries, just like in other fights. And he wins. And he gets it for the IBF World Heavyweight title eliminator. So if this is what we're going to get, if Daniel Dubois does fight Alexander Usyk, Parker would have to wait. And probably he would have to fight for the WBO title. With AJ, I don't think Anthony Joshua could have that chance. Like, he doesn't even deserve a chance to even put out title shots. Even Derek Chisora isn't even ranked as much as he is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Derek Chisora is ranked number 8 in the WBO, so give him a cherry pick fire for Joseph Parker. But yet again, Parker's defeated him twice. Even though the first fight was close by Chisora maybe beating him due to that early knockout. But then the second fight, he knocked out Chisora a couple times in his own situation, and Parker was taking control of that fight, so he won twice in 2021. So a 3-time fight, that's just impossible. But if they do give Parker a chance to fight for a title for Alexander Usyk, Usyk would take on the mandatory fight, defeat Joseph Parker, if he does. And I do say 50-50, maybe. Here's the thing. What if Derek Chisora pulls out an unbelievable 50th professional fight, in his last professional fight, pulls out a win on Daniel Dubois? Then what happens? Well, technically, who knows? They might even call out Parker saying that he wants a rematch with Usyk if that happens, because the IBF might be stripped, and hey, are they going to even have a chance? That means the undisputed title fight is done for. And if Dubois does win the fight, and Usyk does defeat Parker, will he get an easy run at 39 years old in 2026 for Dubois? If it's his last fight? What about Agit Kabayel? Well, there is reports that Agit Kabayel, there's rumors that there will be a fight with Agit Kabayel versus Anthony Joshua for interim title there. So we can see an interesting mark right there. As for the WBA, they've already pointed out thinking that Fabio Wardley, ranked number 1 in the WBA, is going to take on Kubrat Pulev for the regular title. Yet again, if that doesn't happen, who knows? Are you going to have Michael Hunter at number 2 to fight for that title? Are you going to have Moses Atama ranked at number 3 to fight against Kubrat Pulev? Are you going to give Jarrell Miller a chance? You think Philip Hrgovic at number 7 deserves a chance? Is someone going to cherry pick a fighter like Yoanda Toirak, a guy with only 2 wins? Just 2 wins? Against fighters that are decent, but there's not a lot of resume there, so they're going to give him a 3rd fight for a title shot? Or even give him a shot for Nelson Heisa because he's ranked number 13 in WBA? So it's like if they give last-minute replacements on any fighter, who knows? But what about Derek Chisora? How about having him fight against Kubrat Pulev? Why not make Kubrat Pulev versus Derek Chisora for the WBA regular title? Even though he's not ranked in the WBA, but you can actually advertise it as a retirement match, as a goodbye match for Chisora. Because if Chisora does step into the ring one final time in the trilogy match against Kubrat Pulev, how both of the fighters have won both of their 2 fights by split decision, not only it will be Chisora's last match, but it will also be maybe Kubrat Pulev's retirement match. But think fair. You can take the whole locker room as the number 1 contender. The lines where you can say that if Anthony Joshua doesn't have what it takes, but if Parker might not fight Usyk this year, then you can have that the WBO titles. If Joshua doesn't have a chance to fight on, or even have Chisora to fight him in a Trilogy 3 match, like how he did to Fury, then you can put out Justice Hooney, that's ranked number 1 in the WBO, or Moses Atama, that's ranked number 2 in the WBO. Or you can have a rematch with him and Zhilei Zhang, considering how Zhilei Zhang almost had him in the first fight last year. And even though him and Aga Kabayel wasn't a good mix on paper for him, but hey, if he can still recover from it, maybe he can still have a chance to come out with one more fight and fight for a vacant WBO title as Zhang and Parker in a 2-fight, just to give deserving credit to who will win the WBO title. You can put out any marks as needed. You can even put out anything depending on it. But if anyone, because Parker did say that he does have maybe a few fights to think of himself by 2026 or even 2025, that he might go for undisputed champion. And maybe when he's at 35 years old, because next year he'll be 34, and by 2027 he'll be 35, and maybe he did say he might retire at 36, maybe in 2028. But I do think in 2027, because he did think that in his mid-35, when he's 35 years old or 36, he will think about trying to pull out a retirement, maybe by vacating all the belts or so. Now, it's impossible depending on because there's British promoters and such, but as you're putting out 1 and 1, you have to understand that there's more other pieces of puzzles that are unconnected and they don't go together. You have so many of these fighters that are in title eliminators. Now, Aga Kabayel can wait if he wants to, depending on if he can even have maybe another fight this year just to give himself a rank. Maybe he might hit a shot with Lawrence O'Colly for number 1. Maybe he'll hit a shot with Deontay Wilder and see who has a chance to take out big knockout power. Maybe he'll take off Justice Hooney, that's ranked number 11 in the WBC. Considering how you can say whatever you think it is, but at the same time, there's so many more to it. Now, even though for Richard Torres and Bakadir Jalolov, yet again, these Olympic champions that were in the 2020 Olympic Games haven't posed much of a threat in boxing. And of course, when trying to look up the other Olympic boxers of 2021 in the Summer Olympic Games, as for anyone else to understand, there's more to this than I have to understand, because as professional boxing puts a lot of interesting stuff here on the table, because as heavyweight boxing in 2020 has put out interesting stuff, but here's the thing, with all the boxers in the super heavyweight, even these other guys like Fraser Clark, a guy that was the bronze medalist in the 2020 Olympic Games, he had his fair shares. He had a split decision draw against Fabio Wardley. And then in October, first round knockout. Well, that's the end of his career, dead. Well, great. What about the guy from Kazakhstan that scored bronze? Well, surprisingly, this guy named Kanshbek Konkabayev, a person that's 6'3" and he's 33 years old, born in the Soviet Union in 1991 when there was still the Soviet Union of the SSR, but by a year later, it wouldn't be called that anymore. And even though as a cruiserweight, because wait, where's he as we speaking? Well, technically, he's only 5-0, and he fought since August 23rd, 2020 in his debut, and March of 2022, all by wins of knockouts. He was the WBO Asia Pacific Cruiserweight champion, and he's only fought in cruiserweight. Heavyweight was in his second professional fight, but yeah, nothing much interesting other than he's still boxing in the super heavyweight, ranked number 9 as we speak. And he failed hardcore in the Paris Olympic Games last year by split decision loss and a huge discrepancy of ranked fighters failing in qualifications. 2024 was a crazy year. And speaking about 2024, what about the other Olympic boxers that are in the ranks? Well, Ayub Gadfa, that's 26 years old, born in Spain, that was a silver medalist. Technically, he's not in the runs as an amateur boxer, and he was the one that beat out the bronze medalist, as I just told you about. And even the other fighters, like from Germany, named Nelvi Rahman, the bronze medalist in the Germany Olympic Games. Well, he decides to still be in the super heavyweight of amateur boxing. And what about the guy from France named Abdou Moinzes, the bronze medalist in France? Well, technically, as for him, I can't find a lot of information other than he's won a lot of bronze medalists in Mediterranean, European, and Olympic champs because he's only scored bronze medalist. So, yeah, I do question a lot of interesting things here that makes you wonder, what are the Olympians going to do? Because as the 2016 Olympians have been nothing but failure. It just goes to show you guys, every time I look up Olympic boxing, I think of them as draft picks for the NFL, where you think Sebastian Janikowski, did he deserve to be ranked number one in the number one pick as a kicker for the Raiders? Yeah, like he is a Hall of Fame legend, but due to his low percentages and how he barely didn't get a lot of kicks, yes, he made history of making record kickings, this or that, and such, this or that, blah, blah, and controversy. But yeah, I don't think he deserved to be a first-round pick. That's crazy, yeah. Or even Baker Mayfield of the Cleveland Browns. Believe me, guys, I've heard a lot about professional football and draft picks, and even KTO has done a lot of good stuff. Go check out his channel. But yeah, that's what I always think about draft picks as professional boxing, because in amateur boxing in the Olympic Games is what I call them draft picks. You have Tony Yoka, this guy that put out nothing but falls of failure. Losses against Martin Bacali, Carlos Tacome, Ryan Murray. My God. And these were by split decisions and majority decisions. But when you look at the fights, those scorecards were so controversial, they weren't even close. And by 2024, he takes on a couple nobodies, and it's just so ridiculous. Joe Joyce, on the other hand, the thing about Joe Joyce is that he went into the boxing career really late. Guys, Joe Joyce was born in September of 1985, while Deontay Wilder was born in October of 85, a month younger than Joe Joyce. So when looking at Joe Joyce, I question a lot of problems of his age, and by the end of 2020, I questioned that he just didn't seem like he was going to be in the championship division. He was going to lose fights. And that's what I was expecting. His Dan DeBlanc fight, yeah, at 35 years old, I still question a lot. Just like his Carlos Tacome fight and his Christine Hammer. And I thought Joseph Parker was going to beat him up. I didn't expect Joey Zhang to beat him up twice in 2023. And how he took on a nobody in 2024, only to lose against Derek Chisora in July. And now we're hearing reports that he's going to take on a title contender right now just to keep himself alive. But he doesn't deserve to be in the first-round pick, I'll tell you that. Even Filip Hrgović, he got robbed so much last year of not getting the title shot against Daniel DeBlanc. And even if he did win the fight, was Usyk going to strip the title and give it to him at that time? I doubt it, but yet again, as professional boxing, they just gave the title to a British fighter that didn't deserve to win the fight. People are saying Daniel DeBlanc outboxed out Filip Hrgović, but the problem about that fight is when you watch the fights in the later rounds, you're seeing Daniel DeBlanc pushing Filip Hrgović and moving his head, swaying straight to his chin, like he's headbutting him back and forth. It just makes Daniel DeBlanc a complete jackass, and even how he defeats out Anthony Joshua in a title fight because he's British makes you just wonder how British boxing is just destroying so many fights in 2025. And I can understand why Turki Al-Sheikh would actually leave because of that. It's just ridiculous that I'm even talking about this right now because there's so many problems. And Filip Hrgović, he deserved better. As a Croatian boxer, I hope he actually wins the fight coming sooner. Because as for title fights and even other fights, here's what we have. Efe Ajagba is going to take on Martin Bakali on May the 3rd in Saudi Arabia, or so we thought, considering we have a bunch of promoted fights, because it's going to be on the card for Badu Jack taking on Ryan Rosicki for his WBC World Cruiserweight title. Surprised that he's still back in the ring. And Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull, but we just hope Turki Al-Sheikh will let this whole show happen on May the 3rd, just for one last promotion, if he is going to quit boxing, just for one last time, just to see if he does. We just hope this is just a short retirement for him, and then he'll come back in 2026, but I doubt it. But yeah. So we do have that fight underway. Like I said, Joe Joyce versus Filip Hrgovic. It's going to be interesting. They're both still in their top 20 ranks, just like Richard Torres and himself with Villanello, Nelson Heisa. Again, why? And even another Albanian fighter living in New Jersey. Well, can't say much about that guy's fighting career. And also, Huggy Fury is going to fight. As of today, Huggy Fury, Tyson Fury's brother, is going to take on a 9-4 fighter, which at this moment I'm like Huggy Fury's boxing fights have already became a ridiculous career. So good luck if he actually does make it back to ranks, depending on how he makes it. Deontay Wilder, yeah, he's going to take on a 24-5 fighter named Tyrell Anthony Herndon. On June the 27th, and I just hope he does win that fight, because he kind of deserves it a little bit for the heck of it. So it's going to be interesting to know what that fight's going to take place, because Tyrell is ranked number 285 and Wilder is still at 34, considering he's 39 years old, and he has 48 professional fights. So even if he does defeat Tyrell, I have a feeling that his 50th professional fight is sadly going to be his last. And I do believe that, for the heck of it. Yeah, not a good idea. Even other fighters and boxers, I've already pointed out a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's going to be interesting of what's going to happen in the ring. So, but keep this in mind, guys. We still have some interesting fighters that I haven't talked about. Like Jonathan Goudry is still ranked at number 48 in BoxRec, considering he hasn't fought since April the 26th of last year against a nobody. And for him, he might be out of Don King promotion, so we don't know what him and Don King are going to do. Is he still going to be in the ranks? Like, he's in his mid 30s, but does he deserve to be back in the ranks? Who knows? Who knows? We even have some other fighters that are still in the ranks as undefeated, like Arslan Yalyev, a 28-year-old fighter that's 16-0, undefeated with 10 knockouts. And he's put out some interesting wins as a Russian heavyweight champion. We even do have a Canadian fighter named Alexis Barriere, a 29-year-old fighter that's 12 wins and 10 knockouts. Ranked number 37. He pulled out an amazing win last month in February the 28th against a Mexican fighter by 6-round cornerman retirement. And he has a Mark Gastineau record, so I hope he gets his chance of being in the spotlight. But it's not going to be easy. And Umut Kamkiran, this still big guy from Turkey, ranked number 39. Well, yeah, it's... all I can say is good luck where he's going to go, but we still have a bunch of these other fighters that people aren't talking about, and I'm still trying to put some interesting spotlight into this, because something has to happen sooner or later. But you know what? We might as well wait and see. So guys, I'm going to take a few minute break just to relax my voice, maybe watch a little bit of videos, and I will be right back for the final topic of this podcast. So stay tuned. It's a tough job out there. Live from the New England area of Northeast United States. There's not just boxing here. There's boxing everywhere. Not from the west, not to the east, not to the right or the left, left to the right, not to bottom to the top, top to the bottom. It's also the mixture of countries performing all around the world, watching the excitement of professional boxing. which is also why we're bringing you multiple title matches and also for other people to get your tickets to watch your title matches, such as Angelo Morjon taking on David Spilmont for the WBC Mediterranean heavyweight title live in Veneta, Italy. But don't forget, on that same day, on April the 5th, will be David Adelaide trying to make his loss after his first loss for a couple years ago against Jamie Tshikeva for the British Boxing Board of Council British, or they would call it the BBBFC British Heavyweight Championship. But don't forget, guys, we do have a world title match in Germany a week later for Renk Whitko versus Luis Jose Marin Garcia for the WBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. But don't forget to go to Sketches Republic, where Tom Selleck is trying to come back from his loss against Umut Kamkiran to take on Ivan Balaz, also for the Sketches heavyweight title. But don't forget, guys, to watch 2 Polish boxers on that same week as well on April the 12th, with Mariusz Wash, former unified title contender after his Vladimir Klitschko loss, will take on Kepker Maina for the Republic of Poland. But my favorite moment will be on April the 19th, where Jun Hyung Kim, undefeated 4-0, will take on the Tae Kwon Kim, former cruiserweight, now turning debut professional heavyweight boxer, will fight for the South Korean heavyweight championship. But we might as well watch out, because on April the 27th will be Volkan Saka taking on Gurkhan Karadag for the WBC Asian Silver Heavyweight title. And even though these guys are unranked from 380 to 390, it doesn't mean it's going to be an exciting fight. But don't forget, guys, we'll have the European Boxing Union Silver Heavyweight title with Eduardo Giustini versus Pazman Saifkani, also in Italy. We'll talk about other fights in May in the future. But don't forget to watch Tina Ruperchet for her undisputed title match in her country of Germany versus Samira Yamanaka. The only atomweight title that Tina has not won is the IBF Atomweight Championship. And just remember, Samiri doesn't like Tina, Tina doesn't like Samiri, and Don King hates both of them. What a coincidence? No, I wouldn't say it's a coincidence. That's actually being a harassment bully. Anyway, come on down to Germany to watch the undisputed atomweight title in Germany on April the 5th. Stay tuned. And the sponsor is brought to you part by I Forgot. The hell with it. With that being said, back to the podcast. All right, so if we're back to our sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, time to get down to the final topic, which is going to be interesting, as it's going to be short and straight to the point. I'm not going to talk too much about this one, because at this moment I don't want my voice to be crackled up. As of right now, guys, I've already putting out multiple Hunger Game videos. Now, guys, I do want to point one thing out here. I've said this before, guys, I don't like to repeat this. I don't like to repeat myself all the time on YouTube. But because I don't get a lot of views on YouTube, people don't know. People have to know. So I'm going to point this out. I'm actually making other YouTube channels. I'm actually trying to put out a YouTube gaming channel. And some of the videos that I have uploaded on this channel will be released on my gaming channel, such as the Hunger Games. So I will put out a playlist. I'm not going to say I'm going to delete all the videos. Like, I do have some videos I've saved on Daily Motion, but they're all in private just to keep them secured and locked, because I don't have a lot of memory card and I do need other memory discs. But as of right now, I am trying my best to trying to lock all the secret specs, because I'm not sure what I found. But consider I've already tried to make out a YouTube gaming channel about last year ago, like last July, and in August for some reason, considering I uploaded one video, which was just a 10-minute video of just playing Slitherio. And to be honest, it wasn't me talking. It was just blind commentary with no commentary at all. And for some reason, YouTube copyrighted it, which had nothing to do. And then they deleted my entire channel, banned it. I don't know why YouTube is doing this to me. I don't understand. I even tried to do another YouTube channel like 4 years ago, uploading videos of reviewing videos. Like, if viewers know those videos on YouTube, like Todd in the Shadow, that makes videos called One Hit Wonderland, or train record videos of him talking about horrible videos or one-hit wonder songs from bands around the world. Or even YouTuber like Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret, that makes videos of my favorites, such as reviewing pay-per-view shows and from start to finish, and grading, which is if it's an F or an A. I try to do similar to music, grading all albums from bands. And for some reason, YouTube got rid of that as well, which doesn't make sense because I haven't even uploaded nothing more than just 2 videos. I don't understand why YouTube is doing this to me. I don't understand why. It just doesn't make sense. 1 second. Sorry about that. But yeah, for some reason, it just seems like luck is not on my side. And to be honest, the videos I've uploaded at those channels get 0 views. Why? Because none of you people don't even go to my links in the description. I think like over 95% of people that find my channel or click on my video, they just click on a video that's 10 seconds long because it's Amish with horrible quality like this. I don't blame you people for that. I don't blame it. I'm not satisfied with the quality or the videos I'm making. It's just the only problem is I can't do the content that I want to do because the content I'm really anxious of doing is built for 2 or even 3 person job for multiple editors. And one person like me can't do all of that in one bit. Like I said before, content I like doing is challenge videos. I'm also thinking about trying to say, I want to do some fun sport event for the fun of it for some people or something like that. Maybe golf or bowling, and just do challenge videos or something and just have fun. Yes, you can have one. You can be by yourself doing that, but I want to do fun with other people, not be a loner like myself. Like, or even do challenge videos like Team Edge. And of course, Team Edge retired a 1.5 years ago, which I feel bad for that. But they did a lot of stuff with a lot of friends at the time. And so my content is not centered around doing reaction videos anymore. Guys, the reason I do reaction videos once a week is because it's the easiest thing to do. I don't like doing reaction videos, but it's the only one-man person I can do. It's only a one-man person. I can edit them easily just like that. And I can cut and splice stuff away that are something, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there online, and pardon me, I actually accidentally spat on my camera phone. But yeah, they're that easy to do. I don't like doing reaction videos, but they're the only things easy to do. But yet again, those aren't the things I want to do. And like I said before, guys, I want to do a NASCAR driver. I want to do professional boxing. But yet again, I don't want to do that stuff while doing YouTube, because I don't want YouTube to be involved in my professional career. Because if Howie Deegan and Natalie Decker failed as NASCAR drivers because all they care about is their YouTube channel, then I don't want to be in that same situation like other YouTubers like Packy Hanrahan and Darren Tang, 2 professional PBA bowlers that are not doing a good job. And Packy Hanrahan is failing so much that all he cares about is his YouTube channel, even after his 2023 season was pretty good. And Darren Tang hasn't made it to a PBA televised since 2024. And he's already doing his videos of doing two-handed bowling and something like that. And he still fails, which makes me wonder, exit YouTube. I even told Darren Tang and other people online and made comments over and over again, say, dude, if your career is done, why not just stop doing YouTube? If YouTube is the one killing your path of what you're doing, do it. Guys, if I was doing sports or even other stuff while in the middle of it, I would just rather say, hey, I'll just do one video. Or if someone like if there's a YouTuber out there, because guys, I did remember someone saying, I did say that Alexander Usyk did have a YouTube channel, but they're just videos of his boxing fights. Like, you can even watch his boxing fights that were commentated by Ukrainian commentators, which, don't get me wrong, it's pretty awesome. So not all videos were by him, and there's videos that are people that made by his YouTube channel, so he doesn't have to be involved with him doing his own work like Darren Tang or Natalie Decker or Howie Deegan. So at the end of the day, YouTube is not everything I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to live out doing other stuff, trying to be along with beautiful girls, and that's what I try to do. So let's just say that it's a really tough thing for what I'm trying to do, because the stuff I'm trying to do on YouTube is the stuff I don't want to do. Like, I do want to try to do gaming channel. I'm trying to do a gaming channel, but YouTube got rid of it. So what am I supposed to do? I'm trying to do another one, but for why YouTube it hasn't reported back to me, or even YouTube why they're not talking to me, I just don't know why. So the only thing I'm trying to do right now is, the reason I'm making a lot of YouTube shorts over cat videos is I'm trying to make multiple videos of YouTube shorts over every single days of the weeks, just to get multiple views, and maybe have one of those videos get millions of views or even 2 million views. And then I'll get close to watch time hours or even more views, just to get YouTube partnership. Like, I got 1,000 subscribers and more videos. I just need 3 million views or some 10 million viewer shorts. So the more videos I could get for shorts, one of those lucky videos could give me millions of views. So I'm trying to get a YouTube partnership of that, which is why I'm doing it. I love doing cat videos because at least it's just fun, even though maybe in my heart of heart, maybe I should stop actually talking and just start playing background music for YouTube shorts, because I think there's a lot of videos like that. So who knows? But yet again, it does take whiles for me to do it. So I just do short out videos quick, and that's it. Send them on YouTube because they're just easy, and I'm just doing it for it. Like, at this moment, I'm doing YouTube for money, because at this moment I'm short off talent. This moment I'm almost trying to sell out my house and move to an apartment or something, because my father sick, he can't handle it, and I can't handle bills of paying water, heat or something. So, and I already have help from the outsiders of people out there. So let's just say I'm trying to get something done here in life while this whole situation is over. So at the end of the day, if you don't mind, I'm just going to eat out my mac and cheese and chicken nuggets here, end the podcast, and see what's going to go on in the future. So that's all I'm going to say for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this podcast. I did not like talking about this final topic, even though the first two were maybe not entertaining than this one. But you know what? As long as you viewers are listening, that's all that matters. And as long as you viewers are watching this video, whether if you like it or not, doesn't matter. This video I'm making right here is not exciting content. It's just viewers. I'm just here for you viewers to pay attention. So keep that in mind, and we'll see what happens in the future. So, but yeah, again, guys, let's not matter about that. If all you boxing fans are out there watching this, don't pay attention to this. Pay attention to April the 5th, where we have multiple boxing fights of former Olympic boxers fighting tomorrow. Undisputed on-weight championship. Please don't miss out, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, thank you for watching this podcast. And by the way, guys, am I going to do UFC 5? Well, I was supposed to do it this week, but yeah, you know, I'm just going to take some time off and just take my time making a full 2-hour video, because that video still regrets me. Not because of the Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock fight. It's going to give me a headache making that video, so that there's other things about that. So just keep that in mind, and we'll see what goes on. So with that being said, Foxwolf says, out. See you guys.